Well, you just heard Britt Hume talking about the Clintons, Donald Trump, sex scandals, and character. Joining me now with more on that, former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. He is the co-author of the new book, Rediscovering God in America. And he was Speaker of the House during the Clinton impeachment process. Mr. Speaker, good to see you. So, Bill Clinton got in trouble, not so much for the affair, but for lying about it under oath. So let me just take you back to the affair itself and ask you, since we're talking about affairs and we're talking about alleged sexual misconduct, including alleged rape, whether you think that's fair game right now in this election.
Well, I think you drew a very important key distinction. The problem the president faced that led to impeachment was he had committed perjury, which is a felony, as you know, and ultimately he lost his license to practice law for, I think, 5 or 6 years in Arkansas because he was guilty. These other allegations, and I thought Britt Hume was fascinating. I'd never heard the story about NBC sitting on the charges of Broderick. There's no question that there have been a lot of fairly offensive stories floating around Bill Clinton for most of his career. I think this whole thing is sad, and I think it's probably unavoidable. I mean, we're living through an era where, you know, we're getting deeper and deeper into the gutter in a whole range of ways, and this campaign is just going to be part of that same process. She's
on record, Hillary Clinton is saying, when someone alleges she's been raped, you believe her. You believe someone alleging. Now, Juanita Broderick, if I'm not mistaken, never filed charges against Bill Clinton. She made the allegations. She wound up suing him. That case was dismissed. She was suing him over documents that she wanted him to maintain. But, what kind of a position does that put Hillary Clinton in? These are all the women who alleged, the top 3 alleged that they were assaulted by Bill Clinton. The bottom 2 had affairs with him. That was established. Go ahead.
Well, look, I think this is the whole challenge she has, because she's kind of a transitional figure. In some ways, her career started back when it was very challenging and very difficult for professional women to rise, and she worked very, very hard, and she fought her way very hard, and she broke through a lot of glass ceilings, including at the Rose Law Firm in Little Rock. On the other hand, this is now, 30 years later, and younger women are looking at her, and they don't understand what a lot of this stuff is all about. And I think probably most younger women, if they had somebody who did what Bill did, would have walked out. So it's very hard for her to play this role.
Well, you can't judge that. Obviously Hillary doesn't believe these rape allegations, but he had, what he's admitted to is he had some affairs. You've admitted similar. Donald Trump has admitted similar. Many people are unhappy in their marriages and make stupid decisions when it comes to how to find happiness. But it is a different matter in his case when you lie about it under oath, and certainly rape is a totally different matter altogether.
Well, and by the way, when you lie to the entire country, which he did in April of 1998. I mean, so you've got to look at this. All I'm saying is this is going to be a mess. It's going to stay a mess for a while. Hillary's a very aggressive attacker, and she's up against an opponent who thinks that one of the lessons to learn from 2012 is to never let a liberal Democrat get away with an attack. So Trump is going to counterattack very aggressively. We saw him do it all during the primaries. And he's going to, pick up whatever he can find and throw it at her.
Do you think this puts her back on her heels? Does this make her say, never mind, I'm not going to go down that route?
I think that it gets inside her head, and I think it's very painful and very hard for her to deal with, and frankly, probably very hard for she and Bill to deal with. I mean, this is something that's with them over and over and over again as they try to sort things out in terms of they'd like to focus on the campaign. They'd like to focus on their positive message. Instead, they have evenings like tonight where the media is at best not good, and at worst it's terrible. And I think part of the Trump technique is to just surround her with so much noise that she can't think very clearly.
And yet, is it pointing to other bad behavior to defend one's own bad behavior? Because there's no question Trump has talked about women in derogatory terms.
No reasonable person is going to go back and try to defend Donald Trump and some of the dumber things he did over the course of his life, including, by the way, Donald Trump. But he has this lovely vaccination of saying, look, now I'm a public figure. Now I'm a grandfather.
He said some of those things even during the past year.
He has said some things that I would just as soon he didn't say. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying I think he's going to basically say that he is a much more mature person, given the things you were talking about, than he was back when one of these things happened. You can't deny him. I mean, then you get involved in a fight that is hopeless. So he has to shrug them off and say, now that I'm a public figure, now I'm in a different place, I'm a guy that you can respect.
Mr. Speaker, it's always great speaking with you. Thanks for being here.
Good to be with you.